Yo, yo, what's going on? Pickpocket Podcast. Me and Bar here to give y'all UFC predictions for this weekend. UFC is in Mexico for this weekend. We got six fights to talk about with you guys, six fights that we really like for this UFC fight card. What's good, Bart?
Let me just start this off by let me just this is how I feel right now, Sway man. This is gonna go back to last week, and we're sorry, guys. We'll do
Almost, almost.
Let's just enjoy it for a second, you know? Let's just enjoy it for a second.
What is it?
You know this song?
I can't hear
Uh,
it. I can't hear it. We'll see. We'll see if we'll hear it on I edit and stuff. But I
well,
can.
it's Volk's fucking walkout song. Uh, End of
Yeah.
an era.
Speak about
But man,
last week. We made some great calls. We fell
hey,
short.
we had some. Hey, if you look at us overall, we had some great, like Mackenzie Dern plus 3.5 and Lamos money line cashed in on that. A lot of the plus 3.5s hit. Jeff
Mm,
Neal got robbed of a plus 3.5. Maybe not a win, but
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. It was good. It was a good call last week. But this is a new week. Let's try to do better than last week. We're almost there, but let's try to
hey,
do perfection this week, man. It's not
it
gonna.
was it was like the start. The start started off so good, then Kopilov let us down. Then we got on a streak, and then Volk just.
Shit the
But
bed.
hey, I love you, Volk. Hey, 8 months. Come back. Knock this out for me, please.
Um,
No, but let's get going. Well, we got the first fight of the night.
let's talk about this first fight we're gonna talk about, man. Victor Altamirano versus Felipe Dos Santos. Victor, he's 12-3, 33 years old. He's 2-2 in his past four fights in the UFC. He only had four fights in the UFC ever, so it's about to be his fifth. Victor, he has two TKO wins, four submission wins. We're gonna see. You know, what I'm saying obviously he's not a big knockout artist or submission artist. I mean, he gets it, but I'm not too big. I'm not too big on this guy. I haven't really seen this guy fought, to be honest with you guys. But Felipe Dos Santos, on the other hand, he's 7-1, 23 years old. He trains with Oliveira. That's how I know. They go to the same training camps with Oliveira and shit. Dos Santos, his last fight, it was on a short notice, and he was putting up a pretty decent fight for a short notice. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, he came off. He came off the couch like what?
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks notice, maybe less. I think seven. I think it was like a couple days notice, if I'm not mistaken. And
Hmm.
he went decision with Manel Cop, the most powerful puncher, arguably in the flyweight division. So honestly, here he was undefeated going into that fight. I don't want to overthink this. I think the odds are right. Minus 280 is what they got Dos Santos at on DraftKings right now. He's a good parlay piece for sure. If you want to take the chance on inside the distance, I could see it happening, but I would stick it with stick it with a parlay piece at the money line because I'm pretty confident he'll win. They don't have a freaking spread up for this on DraftKings yet. I would have said spread.
True, true.
Yeah, I would have said spread all day.
Man, I got Dos Santos though. Um, yeah, just because I want to see a little more from Dos Santos. I mean, this is about to be his second fight in the UFC. You know, his last fight was his debut and shit. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna put on a show, bro. I really do. Because like you
I,
said, you Cape, that's a good experienced fight to go against on a short notice. So he might,
Especially striking wise. And
yeah,
he's like Oliveira Jr., so even if he gets taken down, he's gonna look for a submission or something. They don't even have fucking props yet for an inside the distance on DraftKings or do you have any I don't know if you maybe on like other websites they do, but DraftKings is usually good with it. They're usually like FanDuel too. Um, but yeah, Dos Santos all day here. The only thing I'd be worried about is a little bit of grappling, but Dos Santos does have good jiu-jitsu. if it goes down there. So I think the grappling of Ultramino and the grappling defense of Dos Santos with his jiu-jitsu ability is gonna play in a good role here. He should still be undefeated. He took a fight for the UFC on short notice, you know.
I agree. I definitely agree, man. Facts. But yeah, we both got Felipe Dos Santos for that fight, guys. Taking money line as a parlay piece. Let's move on to this next fight. Manuel Torres, El Loco, versus Chris Duncan. Torres, he's 14 and 2, 28 years old. He is 2 and 0 in the UFC. He has 7 TKO wins, 6 submission wins. So damn near all his fights, except for one, went to fucking knockout or submission. This guy's pretty damn good. Chris Duncan, on the other hand, he's 11 and 1, 30 years old, 7 TKO wins. He's 2 and 0 in the UFC as well. It's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to be a really good fight. But it's in Mexico, man. Manuel Torres is looking like he's a top prospect on the rise right now. He potentially could be. If he get this win like on some knockout, what you think, Bart? Do you think
Bro, at one point, this man, Manuel Torres, was training at Tijuana MMA. He is like as puro Mexicano, you know, fucking pure like fucking. He's a fucking gangster, bro. I mean, the way he knocked out Mota, who's a Muay Thai striker, that's all I gotta see. But Duncan is very durable. You don't see him get knocked out too much. And Manuel Torres's only have come by submission, and Chris Duncan doesn't have a great ground game.
mm,
And I don't think he's gonna outstrike Torres. Torres has some fucking lightning quick hands on the feet. And what's the reach advantage here? Let me see real quick. But I do think Torres has the reach on him too, even though Duncan is a long guy.
yeah, man. And man, now that you said that Chris Duncan is not really good on the ground, maybe Torres can go after the submissions. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He does have 6 submission wins.
Small reach advantage, 1.5 reach advantage for Torres.
Okay.
So you got the advantage in striking. Listen, yo, I know Duncan's tough, so I'm like skeptical about the TKO for Torres, but I do think money line piece or money line minus 200 now. It's climbing up because people saw the highlight of the last knockout, knocked him out stiff, and I just think, and he's fighting in Mexico. I think this is kind of a matchup that's suited for Torres. They kind of like made some matchups like, oh, we don't want this to go how the Canada card went, or all our fucking guys lost.
Right.
We need some good matchups where Torres is gonna go crazy.
All right. I mean, I definitely agree. I definitely agree, bro. You're onto something. But not only that, I mean, like you were saying earlier, bro, like if this guy Duncan doesn't have good grappling or good ground game,
Mm-hmm.
Torres potentially might go after that. He might get the submission win. He might get the good ground control, ground and pound. Who knows? But yeah, it's a Mexico, man. I see Torres, bro, making a name for himself in the UFC. So
Yeah, this is a
what
level. It's a jumping competition.
for
I
sure.
do think they should be a little bit closer. They're a little expensive on that minus 200 because Duncan is tough. Don't get us wrong. Should be like a minus 170, minus 160 piece. But I do think because of that grappling, he only has one submission win, Chris Duncan, and that's the only problems we've seen with Manuel Torres is in his submission game. His only losses have come by submission.
Yeah.
Torres all day.
So you got Torres? All right. Yeah, man. So we both got Torres for that fight, guys. This next one, Raul Rosas versus Ricky Torcios. Raul
Mm.
Rosas versus Ricky. This one's gonna be really interesting to see, man. Rosas, he's 8 and 1, 19 years old. You guys know he's youngest fighter in the UFC. His last fight, Raul Rosas, he won by TKO, and that was really surprising to see because a lot of people thought he was gonna go after for the submission win, but he knocked this motherfucker out. It was a good punch. I can't lie. He's 2 and 1 in the UFC so far. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what's good with Rosas this Saturday. Ricky, on the other hand, he's 30 years old. 3 TKO wins. He's 2 and 1 in the UFC so far. I'm not. I can't be honest. I'm not really sure about this Ricky guy. but I just feel like Dana might be feeding Rosas. I don't know.
Come
Maybe,
on, say it.
you
You're
might
right.
he
You're
said
right.
say
You're
it.
right. You're right. You're right, dog. Let me do it. All right. I think Turkios, whatever, Ricky Turkios' last fucking three fights have gone to split decision. He's lost one of them, he won two of them. He's in close fights against guys who are not levels of competition like Rosas, especially with the grappling. And Rosas is only showing that he's getting better and better. I think Turkios at what's he at? He's 30. I think he's shown what he's been able to accomplish in the octagon. Him going on these three straight split decisions isn't looking good. If he like had a knockout in one of these last three fights or a finish at least, I'd be a little bit more hesitant in picking Rosas. But I do think Rosas got hand fed an opponent they want him to be, you know?
Yeah, so okay, I was right. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I was on your side the whole time. I made that shit a little bit freaking what's it called? Intense. No.
Nah, yeah, hell yeah. Should as you should. Hell yeah. Let's go. So yeah, we you got Rosas then? You think he's gonna get the win?
Man, I do. I think he's gonna bounce back. Mexico City. I don't. I really think Dana doesn't want what happened on the Canada card. All the men lost. I think Jasmine and what? Who was there was one other girl that won.
Yeah, it was probably like one more person. That's about it, man.
Yeah, but there was no men that won. And Mike,
That's
fuck,
crazy. Do you hey,
his
so do you think Ryan Rosas can get a finish, or are you just gonna be safe and go with the money line?
uh, he's got this guy goes to decision a lot.
Yeah.
8 wins to decisions and 2 losses by decisions. He's gotten knocked out once in his career. He's never been submitted.
Hmm.
He's been around for a while too. So I think decision is the way I'm gonna go with Rosas this fight. I think he just, he's gonna be looking for that submission. It's gonna be like, oh, he might have it locked in, but he's gonna escape Turkios at the last minute. But the grappling is gonna really win Rosas this fight.
All right, all right. That's what we both got, guys. We both got Raul Rosas winning for this fight. Let's move on to the next fight, man. Uh, Daniel Zilliberg,
Daniel Zellhuber.
Zellhuber, Zilliberg versus Francisco Prado. Go ahead, Bart. Lead us off, man.
Man, let me start with Prado because his record, you're gonna look at his record, you're gonna be like 12-1. Damn, intriguing prospect. His first 2 wins in his career, guys who are 0-0, never fought an amateur fight before. Um, Next guy 4-13. Of course, he's beating all these guys in the first and fucking second round. He's getting hand fed opponents who are 4-8, 4-6. I just think he got fed cans early on in his career. He's definitely a talented prospect, but we've seen Zell Huber, and he's got a real good reach advantage in this fight too, right, Sway?
Yes, sir. He has an
And
8-inch reach advantage.
and like even though Prado was on an impressive little winning, or no, he lost against Malarkey. He lost against Malarkey, Jamie Malarkey. That he took him to
You know,
decision, but I'm gonna say that's all I'm gonna say. I got Zell Huber all day. I think the odds are a little expensive here too, just because fucking Zell Huber's the Mexican fighter. It's probably like a little juiced up, but I do think Zell Huber gets it done. TKO style. He's got 7 TKOs on his record now, and 4 wins by decision. I don't know. I just it's gonna be an exciting fight. I do think so because Prado's not no pushover either. I think he'll have some moments, but Zell Huber definitely get the win.
I agree. I got Zell Huber as well. I think that 8-inch reach advantage is going to come to his favor. Maybe he goes after the jabs, you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, maybe it's going to be hard for Francisco to even go after Daniel's Huber because he has longer reach and he's, just a longer fighter. So I definitely agree, Bart. I got Daniel Zell Huber as well, beating Francisco. That's what we both got for that fight, guys. Do you got anything else, Bart, for that?
I'm just wondering, do you like? I mean, it's minus 270 money line. It's minus 200 TK or decision. I think I like the double chance here, but I don't know. It's money line or that, that's what I'm saying.
I agree. If you want to just go after a little better odds, I think yeah, um, that's the that's the way to go. To be honest, if you want,
Prado's never been submitted though, and his only loss is by decision. So he's proven to be tough at least. But like I said, his first like 7 fights have been absolute, cans.
yeah. So we're gonna see what's up with that fight for this Saturday, guys. But let's move on to this next fight, the co-main event. Yair Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega. Yair Rodriguez, he's 16-4, 31 years old. Six TKO wins, four submission wins. He's 3-2 his past five fights. Yair Rodriguez, his last fight, he lost to Volkanovski. You could basically say Yair Rodriguez has been more active. He was a former interim featherweight champion in the division. He fought pretty good fighters recently. Brian Ortega, he's 15-3, 33 years old. Seven submission wins. I'll give him that. He's 2-3 his past five fights. But Brian Ortega, his last fight was July 16th, 2022. That's a minute ago. That's you know been a year and some change now, but damn near 2 years. He hasn't been active. You know what I'm saying? Brian Ortega has not been active. I gotta go with Yair Rodriguez. I mean, he's a little more taller, 5'9". Brian Ortega's 5'7". Not only that though, but it's just Yair Rodriguez has been more active. And then the way that how the fight was looking when it was first booked before Brian Ortega got injured, it was kind of looking like Rodriguez was gonna, I don't
Pull
know,
away. He was gonna start pulling away with it, I feel like.
yeah, like pull. He was gonna pull away with the win. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna,
It
I'm gonna
was
go.
like a close fight, and then like you could see like Yair was starting to find that straight. Like he was
Yeah,
starting to find his rhythm, and he was definitely gonna like take over from that moment. I think Ortega's like his punches, his striking is not that. It's pretty sloppy. I don't want to say sloppy because sloppy isn't the right word, but just less worse than sloppy. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty average. It's
yeah.
average, but really like a little below average. But and Yair Rodriguez on the other hand, striking is fucking phenomenal. Like even like I know Volk knocked his ass out, and like it wasn't much of a fight, but Yair didn't do that bad striking wise. Don't get me wrong, he took some punches, but he didn't do that bad. It's not like he got absolutely killed on the feet by Volk. Um I just don't know how he's gonna recover from that loss to Volk. I think the fact that Volk lost now is like kind of boost to his confidence. This guy is beatable, like um I don't know. I like Yair all the way here. The only thing that worried me, guys, I don't know if this was because the like lion makers thought the that the fans really still love Brian Ortega how they did, but it opened as minus 170 for Brian Ortega and plus 130 or 140 for Yair Rodriguez. And now it's completely flipped around to Yair minus 170 and Ortega plus one or it's Yair plus minus 150. Sorry, and Ortega plus 130. I got Yair though. He's versatile. Look at this. 7 wins on defeat. Or I'm sorry, guys. 7 wins submission, 3 wins by TKO, and 5 wins by decision. So he, even though he's got the striking, he could still not take you down and submit you, but he can find the submission on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, last fight, Gary Rodriguez with Josh Emmett before Volkanovski, he had Josh Emmett in the submission. That was pretty impressive too.
That
Like,
was off submission off the back. Like that's like
yeah,
damn near what he's known for. It's gonna do. I feel like this fight's gonna have some nice scrambles. I think at the end of the day, it will be a little bit of a close fight, but yeah, Rodriguez will kind of imitate the first fight where he's gonna pull away, be able to stuff some of the takedowns and just pull away because he's definitely got a striking advantage.
and I believe that Yair Rodriguez he switched training camps to Chicago, out of Chicago, Illinois, Valley Flow.
Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois. That was what Bruce Buffer or the other guy's gonna be saying. What's his name?
Yeah,
Nah, but I'm sure they'll have Bruce Buffer. It's in Mexico City. Shit.
that's where Bilal Muhammad trains. That's where Juliana Pena trains. That's a really good gym, to come out of Chicago, and that's really good for Jair Rodriguez too. He's trying to sharpen up his striking skills because that's a really good gym.
I honestly think it's for his grappling. We saw him training with Marab too, right?
Who
Yair?
was he?
Um, no, I'm getting mistaken. Who am I getting him mistaken with?
Raul Rosas.
Rosas was training with Marab.
Yep,
Yeah, fucking Yair. But I think he's really switched to that gym. This is my main point of that is to work on his grappling because even Max Holloway was taking his ass down.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so what? You got Rodriguez then?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Rodriguez here, but I think it's gonna be a close fight. I just think Ortega's been too inactive, and the rust is gonna catch up to him. He should have fought somebody like coming up in the 15th or
Arnold
14th.
Allen or someone.
Yeah, who'd you say?
Arnold Allen.
Yeah,
Something like that.
like somebody coming off a loss or like somebody lower in the rankings.
Yeah, I agree. I got Yair Rodriguez as well, only because he's been more active. And yeah, that's what we got, guys. We both got Yair Rodriguez for the co-main event. But the main event is going on to the last fight. Brandon Moreno versus Brandon Royval. Brandon Moreno, former champ. Oh, he's 21-7 with two draws, 30 years old. His last fight, he lost to Pantoja. He lost the belt. Brandon Royval, on the other hand, he's 15-7, 31 years old. His last fight as well, he lost to Pantoja. He fought for the belt, but he didn't really do nothing. He got dominated, in my opinion. He has good skills. Brandon Royval, he's good. He's a good fighter. He has good skills, but it's not championship material. I would say that. Brandon Moreno, on the other hand, we seen him. He won the championship. You know what I'm saying? He got into some great fight with some great fighters, and his skills are just better than Brandon Royval, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with Brandon Moreno for this fight. I'm not too sure if he could get the knockout TKO submission. I'm not too sure, but you could parlay piece Brandon Moreno with one of the picks that we just talked about earlier. What you think about it?
I'd be real shocked if Royval pulled this one off. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I think Moreno's just proven to be tougher. The only thing that may be like you can take into consideration is Moreno's been in some fucking wars. If you're on the Royval side of this pick, I'm definitely not, but like that's the only thing that I see like being on the bad side of for Brandon Moreno. But he's still young, man. He's only 30. He's really in the middle of his prime, Moreno. Rival's pretty young too, but we saw in the last fight that Pantoja just was overpowering him, was too much for him. And in my opinion, Brandon Moreno beat Pantoja.
Yeah, I agree.
Controversial, but um, I think that just I know MMA math don't always work, but this is just a good matchup for fucking Moreno. That's all. I wish we had the original matchup of Albazi because I really wanted him to get pieced the fuck up after ruining my Kai Car France parlay.
I agree. I agree, Bart. I agree with you. So you got Brandon Moreno though?
Yeah, I got Brandon Moreno. I think all day here. I think a lot of them, like if not, I think at least like 80% of the Mexican fighters on this card are gonna win. So if you have like a Mexican fighter parlay cooking, I think it's a good chance of it.
Yeah. So I got Brandon Moreno as well, man. Let's run it back real quick before we wrap it up for the episode. We both got Felipe Dos Santos money line. This next fight, Manuel Torres versus Chris Duncan. We both got Manuel Torres winning that fight. We got Raul Rosas beating Ricky for that fight as well. After that, we got Daniel Zellhuber beating Francisco. On the co-main event, we both got Yair Rodriguez beating Brian Ortega. And for the main event, we got Brandon Moreno beating Brandon Royval. That's about it, guys, for the episode. Appreciate you, Bart. Tune in next week. Tune in the week after that. UFC from here on out is gonna be bussing. It's gonna be pretty damn good, man. O'Malley show next
There's like
week.
11 fucking fight cards in a row.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be pretty damn good. We
It's
missing
about to be
football, but
crazy.
UFC's, trying to make us feel better.
Hey, vote coming back.
It's
My heart says so. I don't know if my brain agrees with me right now, but
gonna be tough, my guy. I don't know
it's
about
gonna be very tough. Trust me. I know, Sway. I know. It's gonna be tough.
that.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
too fucking tough. Damn it.
yeah,
Fuck.
man. But that's about it, guys. We appreciate y'all. Tune in, like, subscribe, share. Give us some likes, give us some shares, man. Come on, fuck with us, guys. Let's get it. Let's have a good weekend. Peace out, guys.
Peace.